Welcome to day 22. Forgive my voice. I guess I got allergies now. And man, it's just like it's here. Uh, but I can say this. Thank you, God, for taking away that old stank cough. I was coughing every second, but now it's just a little allergy, like itchy nose, kind of itchy throat. But I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be here on day 22. And I'm sitting here drinking this carrot juice with a little spice of turmeric because I'm like, oh, let it just flush it out, Lord, flush it out. But anyway, as I do that and I breathe and prepare for my day, today I have like 5 minutes before I have to be somewhere, but it's close. I'm just thinking about, we're asking God, what is it that I should share today on day 22? And what come up is the accountability piece. You know, it's easy to have the spirit of like blame and stuff and just if this is something, I'm being funny, but you know how people say, well, if my mama wouldn't have put a perm in my head, I wouldn't have short hair. But you're 102 right now. And you have, means to get products and do all the things to grow their hair, to put things into, to eat properly, to do all the things to get that hair back. And but yet, you talking about a time over 90 some odd years ago. Like, when are you gonna stand up for yourself? I am. And the thing is that I have to share. Because I'm like I said, I can't tell nobody what to do, and I'm not trying to. But what comes to mind for me, because I love to confess, because I've learned to be very accountable. Now it's a journey, but it's well worth it because then you're not as anxious and mad and stuff, because you understand that, in the words of my brother, it's you versus you. Really ain't nobody else, and you can go around in circles with that, but ultimately it's not at this point in life. Um, so I've done a lot of counseling, a lot of therapy, different type of therapies, and shout out to Miss Tammy at NAHT. At one point, like, she's really good counseling and stuff, and I thank God for sending me to NAHT to get a lot of help, relapse prevention, ACA, codependency, a lot of different help that I needed. But what it all brought me back to, what God used that to bring me back to, is me, and that accountability piece. And not out pointing fingers, because yeah, all of those things happen. Yeah, I was mad, I was shameful, I was blaming. But then now, look at me. I'm here at 48. What am I going to do right now? Because I clearly can't change those people and those situations and those places and the things that I've done. But I can be accountable for today. Right here, right now, day 22. I can choose to put myself in a position that will keep me accountable for staying sober. I can choose to stay celibate until God sends me a husband. I can choose to not cry about having little hair. Give me a bundle at Baskin Rock. What is Baskin Leathers? Like I said, Baskin Rock. I'm big hungry. Baskin Leathers, and grow my hair out. You hear me? It's up to me. And yeah, we can do that little dancing, but they did this and they did. But what are you going to do right now? And that's something that pretty much all the counseling that I had through NAHT and therapies really brought me back to me, the God in me. And I'm thinking about that on today, on day 22, because God want me to just talk about that. And then sharing it, like I said, my thing is not to teach anybody, but to remind myself. And if you do come across this, hey, take what you need. Because it feels so good. I feel so free inside. I don't have those recurring thoughts of all the hurt and pain that has happened in my life, and you see me laugh and you've seen me highlight good points, but there's been a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. But accountability has helped me to stop that in my brain, uh, yeah, being accountable, just being accountable, in the sense of some stuff, like I can hear you saying, well, I didn't do that to myself. But the thing you did do to yourself, IN, is that, because I used to, that was me. They did that to me. Yeah, they did. But it's up to you to stop reliving it every second of the day, so that now you're doing that to yourself. And once I became aware of that, I was like, oh no. See, even in counseling, Miss Tammy can vouch for this. At one point, in just all honesty and all transparency, I was mad at my mother and my father for a lot, and I have the right to be mad at them. And it's true, everything that I ever said, but I'll never forget the day that I prayed before I went to counseling. And God said, find one good thing. So when I went in there to counseling, I told Miss Tammy, I said, I'm going to think of one good thing that my mother and my father did for me. And she said, what are you? She kind of country. What? She said, take people years to do that. I said, well, God told me to do that. And I know people think I'm crazy when I say that. Not Miss Tammy, because she's a believer, devout believer. Um, but God told me that, look, it's something good in everything, right? So to share, I'm going to wrap this up, but one of the best things that my mother ever did in my childhood was give me this book. I should have had it out, but I didn't know this where this was going. But I might take a picture and post it later. Crispin, the dog who raised himself. He was so independent. He smoked a pipe. He had a hat. He had a house. He even adopted a boy and made and cooked for the boy. He made him lamb and vegetables, and that's the book. So what my mother used to do is five of us. She used to. We had a routine at night. Take when we was little, take a shower, well, take a bath because we take a bath. She'll rub us down. Sometimes she give us castor oil, rub us down in Vaseline and massage us, and that's why I love massages. But anyhow, pat our back because I always want her to, like hit you on the back, and I love that. But she'll give us all our time, and then she'll say, choose a book, and she would read each one of our books to us. And I remember my sisters laughing like, that dog can't live by himself. I was like, that's my book. I loved that book. And so I shared that with Miss Tammy, and Miss Tammy bought me the book, y'all. She's a wonderful counselor at NAHT. But then the thing that my father, God rest his soul, what he did was, I never forget this. I used to go to Napier School, and we had the center next to the school, and so they taught us how to swim. And I got an award for swimming the length of the pool. And he said, is that right, Pookie? I said, yeah, I was the only girl to swim the length of the pool. I was not scared. He gave me a $2 bill. And to this day, I got two $2 bills on my dry erase board. They just, I unconsciously get them from time to time because that's one of the moments of love that I received from my father. And then to think about it, combined the both of them, I never forget one day I walked in, we lived in J.C. Napier, and they were like, here comes Pookie, the mystical, magical animal. So that has kept my confidence on an extreme high. Even at 48 years old, grown woman, they told me, like everybody that was in there, because y'all know what my father used to do. And then my mother used to do hair, so it was always people in the house. But they introduced me as the mystical, magical animal, and that I can do anything. And I said, yes, I can make y'all disappear. So, and everybody act like they was disappearing and stuff. I'll never forget that. It gave me so much confidence in myself that I still have to this day. But then I just wanted to share that the accountability piece will take you so much further than just ruminating about who hurt you and all the events that really can't help you grow anyway. So y'all be blessed, not stressed. Move forward. Allow God full embrace. Just surrender. Surrender. Peace.